All right, what is up? Welcome to 2023.
Boom, 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 boom. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, happy 2023, 2022. It's in the past, it's gone, but that doesn't mean we can't reminisce on it and rate our best moments of it.
What a crazy year. Not really, but like what a fast year as well. Wow.
Yeah, it was a fast year. And I feel like just going from event to event, you don't realize how much time passes by.
Yeah.
Like, because let's say UFC 276 and then UFC 280, it's like, damn, it's October now.
Damn, it's October.
And it was just the summer. And now it's 2023, so we got a whole new slate of fights to be hyped about and a whole lot of good stuff to look back on as well. There was a lot of good moments in 2022. There was. And I can't even lie. So we will be doing our 2022 informal award ceremony.
Picks of the year.
There's no trophies here.
Y'all already seen everyone else's, like ESPN.
So I will break down the categories. We can add categories too, like how I said. But the main like categories: men's fighter of the year, women's fighter of the year, men's fight of the year, women's fight of the year, men's knockout of the year, women's knockout of the year, men's submission of the year, women's submission of the year. So it's kind of just men's, women's flip-flop back and forth throughout the year. Or no, not throughout the year, but just flip-flops back and forth, basically. So I guess we'll start it off with maybe some honorable mentions for like some fighters that maybe weren't of the year but were close.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do honorable mentions as we go as well. So men's fighter of the year.
Ooh, all right.
So I picked a couple like to go through just to name off, and they're both Alex's, Alex Pereira and Alexander Volkanovski, which both had very good showings. Volk, he had that Korean Zombie fight. He had the Max Holloway fight, which was huge.
What else did he fight? Did he fight twice? He had to fight more than twice.
I believe it was only twice. Which that's the one thing where it's like, could he be the fighter of the year if he's only fighting twice? You know what I mean? And then you have Pierre on the other hand, who also fought twice, but he came out of nowhere, beat Sean Strickland, gets that title
twice. No way, he only fought Strickland and then Izzy in 2022. Is that true?
I'll double check. I'll double check for sure.
I feel like he had to. I don't even know. Now I'm tripping about because oh my god, bro, 2022 seems so short. Like in the UFC terms,
I know it has.
Fighters only fight like 2 to 3 times a year. Wait, that's actually got me messed up.
So he's 7-1. He fought UFC 268, and then he fought March 2022. Okay, so he won by unanimous decision, knocked out Sean Strickland, then knocked out Izzy to become the middleweight champion in 2022.
What a boring.
That was his 2022.
That dude doesn't even have a story. His only story to him is, dude.
I feel like the whole Izzy thing is just a story in itself. You know what I mean?
That all the story is. He didn't do anyone to get there.
That's the story.
That's the story.
It's a
honestly,
rivalry as old as time. It seems like
he shouldn't have even had to fight anyone in the UFC besides Izzy. As soon as he got signed in the UFC,
and the fact that he won too, it's like.
I guess we'd have to go Alex
like,
Pereira.
Damn.
I was trying to think though. I swear I had different fighters, but now I'm all confused.
Yeah, I mean, we could say. I'm trying to think of like. I was at home earlier just trying to think. I was like, who really stood out?
If it was Charles Oliveira to beat Islam,
Cheeto Vera is an honorable mention.
I think Cheeto Vera could be an honorable mention. I think
because I did see him in other rankings as like most improved fighter.
I'm gonna put Michael Chandler in there. Only I'm not gonna put him at the top.
I think he needs those dubs
simply because he lost. But first of all, I think he's the most
entertainment-wise.
He's the most entertaining fighter in the UFC right now. So I can give him fighter.
Entertainer of the year.
I can't. Yeah, he's
Michael
of the year. I can't give him fighter of the year.
He's a real one.
Because he obviously doesn't win his fights. But I mean, come on, he knocked no one maxed out Max Holloway like that. All right, all I'm saying.
He does some Poirier. Or you mean Tony
Max Holloway.
Ferguson?
I'm talking about when Michael Chandler knocked out Tony Ferguson this year.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like he has a fight like that, and then he has that war with Poirier, and then I don't even know who he fought before that. I don't know. I think it was Gaethje. But to be honest,
Yeah, he fought. It was the Gaethje war.
It was Dan Hooker, Charles
Madison Square
Oliveira,
Garden.
Justin Gaethje,
Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier, maybe Conor McGregor next.
Wait, that's wild. Yeah, so simply because he lost, he's nowhere near.
Yeah, you got to get those dubs to get on the Fight Geeks Fighter of the Year. So we're giving it to Pereira.
I guess so. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna.
Yeah,
no, I've no disrespect for Pereira. I just feel like
comment down below your guys, or if we're just literally
fucked up a lot of things,
like forgetting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if we're forgetting someone,
who am I forgetting right now? I know someone. Whatever.
I mean, Leon. Yeah, he beat Usman, but he was just one fight of the year. You know what I mean?
He got rocked by Diaz. Did he only fight once there? He might have only fought once. Was it just fucking title shot? Because he waited a long time. I'm pretty sure the Diaz fight was his last fight.
Makachev did fight twice too. He fought Bobby Green in February and got that title.
Makachev sucks. No, I'm kidding. Great champion.
But I don't think he could be a fighter of the year.
Makachev's not fighter of the year simply because he's fought nobody's his whole career. Like Bobby Green title shot. All right, that's great. You destroyed Charles Oliveira, bro. But come on.
Yes, we'll give that.
If he
one
beats
to
Volk,
Pereira.
I'll finally have respect for him, which he probably will.
Women's fighter of the year. I honestly didn't have a debate on this. Zhang Weili all the way.
I think it's Zhang Weili as well. I think
she defeated Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Remember that? Retired Joanna. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. All right. I don't know how to pronounce it.
John Jacek, something like that.
Joanna John Jones. But she also had
she got her
championship belt back from Carla Esparza. Yeah,
she got her get back. Because here's the thing, she got knocked out by Rose, I think, in 2021 with that crazy head kick.
Yep.
Now I'm not gonna lie, Rose, a great fighter, has had knockouts. You saw the knockout with Zhang Weili. I've seen a few other knockouts in her highlights. I couldn't tell you who, but you know, Rose, I was like, damn, like word. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I always believed in Zhang 2.0. When the rematch happened, I honestly thought she won the rematch. It was a very close. I don't want to say boring, but it was a technical fight. I thought Zhang Weili took it. The judges gave it to Rose. I was like, I think Weili's still gonna come back. I remember we were in Colin's basement, dude. We were all like, Zhang won that. Now
the craziest reaction from announcers.
She stood out for a little bit longer, and then she fought Joanna and had that knockout. And I was like, yes, sir. And then Rose fought Carla Esparza and had the worst fight of all time. And that's where I lost my respect for Rose. And her excuse for having a boring fight was because she's like, I've had entertaining fights before. Why does every fight need to be entertaining? That's such a stupid thing to say when you have a boring fight. So I was like, dude, we need to get her knocked out. She lost to Carla Esparza in the worst fight of all time. And then Zhang Weili fucked her up. And
she's a women's fighter of the year.
Her story's hype. I remember Zhang, she was like, reporters would ask her something, she'd say, Zhang 2.0, Zhang 2.0. It was scary, bro. I was scared of Zhang 2.0 for a minute. She shaved her head. I was like, fuck. But yeah, she's fight of the year, probably next year as well. Or no, the women's divisions is looking crazy this year. A little off topic, but all I'm saying is all of them want to fight each other. Like
and it's going down in 2023.
And y'all catch it here.
All right, so next up, we'll move to fights of the year.
Fight of the year.
Men's fight of the year.
Oh man.
I have three in mind right now. I'm honest, I'm not completely swayed toward any of them yet. But Glover versus Yuri, UFC 275, 5-round war. Some people are giving that their submission of the year, but we gotta admit it was a war.
I'd say, for what? Honorable mention?
For fight of the year.
Oh, wait, it's fight of the year. I say that could be an easy honorable mention and or pick.
Holland versus Thompson.
I think
that goes as far as honorable.
I think that just reaches honorable. Yeah. I think people were... That was a good fight.
It was hyped up.
I love both fighters. Everyone loves Kevin Holland, right? He's one of those fighters, like Michael Chandler, who don't have to win to be entertaining. You're just going to watch their fight no matter what. That's an easy honorable mention. But people were overrating that fight a little bit, I think.
People were putting that, like...
It was a great fight, but all I saw was Kevin Holland eating shot. I mean, it was cool how he let him stand up and
not
stuff.
Doing MMA. Like, they were competing.
All I saw
MMA.
was, oh my God, Kevin Holland has a chin and he's getting dominated by a kickboxer. And it was a very entertaining fight, all throughout. But fight of the year, like I would put like every Chandler fight above that easily. Like I don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
Chandler versus Poirier is an option.
Chandler versus Poirier is an option. Chandler Holloway's an option. Leon's an option.
Chimaev versus Burns.
Leon Edwards.
was
Chimaev
the
versus
next
Burns is an option. There's so many options with this one. For fight of the year, what would you pick?
I think for this one, it's like a fight that like makes you like feel something like while watching. It's like, damn, like that is crazy. You know what I mean? And
That's what I was going to say
that from
too.
the Kevin Holland fight.
I was just going to say this,
sure.
guys. I was going to pick
fight.
when Matt first sent me this picture. I was like, for fight of the year, I'm going to have to go Leon Edwards versus Kamaru. But because Matt what just said is the reason why I actually can't. Yeah. Reason being, when you were watching that fight, were you on the edge of your seat? That fight, were you?
Honestly, no.
Were you up?
That was a jump scare of a win.
Were you like up there like, oh my god, or saying oohs, ahs? Were you doing that? No, I think in fight of the year you have to be going ooh, ah, damn, oh my god,
sheesh,
shit like that. Like you gotta be reacting to
a
fight. If I'm sitting in a fight
live.
And not reacting, then it's not fight of the year. Simple as that. Now that's why I can't put Leon there. So
Izzy versus Pereira
that's a huge contender. Oh my god,
that is a huge contender. That is a
genuine fight of the year.
Gane versus Tuivasa.
This would have to be my pick right here.
That was a battle.
It's going to have to be Yuri versus Glover, my fight of the year.
Mine. This is kind of an oddball
because I just think like what you said. Like,
literally, dude, that Gane versus Tuivasa fight was one of the craziest fights like I've ever watched.
That fight was wild. When Gane got dropped,
I don't know if I want to call it my pick though, but I think I might have to.
When Gane got dropped. Or when
Gane got dropped, he came back up. Tuivasa got kicked. He said, "Psych."
When Tuivasa got head kicked and didn't get knocked out, he stumbled the tiniest bit and was locked back, and it was crazy.
I know, bro.
Crazy.
That's my fight of the year. My men's fight of the year.
What? Gane?
Gane versus Tuivasa. I have to do it. I have to do it.
I'd say that would be my second. Yeah, I'd say Yuri.
That was a
Glover
great
just
fight.
Because like, did you expect
that?
Did you?
We obviously got to give love to Burns versus Chimaev too.
That was a banger. And then Glory versus Over, it's like, did you expect that?
Yeah,
not really.
Like all these fights are great, but like based on like if a fight makes you feel, how you react
when you're in it the whole time. All right,
while you're
what's the next one? Women's fight of the year?
Watching this. Yep, women's fight of the year. I only have one for this, and I think I'm going with it.
All right, don't tell me yet. I'm trying to think.
And it is on a card that you just mentioned.
Mine would be. Oh fuck. Women's fight of the year. I think like I probably missed out on a lot of women's fight this year.
Yeah, I didn't have. I really only had one option.
And this might be bias. It's not really bias at all. It's just like there's probably a better fight that I'm just not thinking of. But mine would honestly be Nunes, Pena too. I remember we were at the Airbnb.
Champ getting her get back.
I was definitely like. Whatever, like a little, like whatever, but like I was definitely overreacting to that fight. I remember watching, but all I saw was domination. She dropped her like 4 times, beat her out wrestling. It was crazy. What would yours be?
Mine is, if you remember on UFC 275, co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos.
Yeah,
where it was an arguable result with the decision, but it was a war the whole time. All 5 rounds, in my opinion.
That's a good pick. I like that pick.
That's what I could think of for Women's Fight of the Year. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry if those were trash.
It was honestly hard
sorry if those were trash.
We're gonna be,
if I'm being honest.
We're gonna have more knowledge as we go on.
I just think when I was watching it, I think I saw like a crazy one of the biggest upsets in the UFC when Pena first beat her back like.
Yeah, that was December 2021.
I was actually confused. I was like, wait, what? Like.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was. Wow. And then I was like, damn, Amanda was like defeated. And then she came back out like a Terminator and just got her lip back. It was crazy.
All right, men's knockout of the year. And this one, obviously there's hundreds maybe of knockouts. At least over 100 knockouts this year, probably. Total
knockout of the
year. This is where it comes down to knockout of the year, the best of the best. We have people like in my list, Michael Chandler knocking out Tony Ferguson, Jamal Hill sending Johnny Walker just straight.
That was this year?
He put him in a coffin.
That had to have been very early in the year.
Yeah, that was like that was like the first day we actually podcasted.
It in their house. I'm going Leon Edwards.
Yeah, and I also have Leon Edwards, which I have to give it to him though.
This one, unlike the first one, is where this one you can actually like fight of the year. There's not. It's kind of like Una thing. This one you can put like the stakes up with it, like right, like Leon Edwards down 3-1, clearly losing the fight. 50 less than a minute left.
He already had his first person to take down Usman, but he wanted more.
Yeah,
he wanted more.
Already fought. What's it called? They already fought in the UFC early on in their careers.
This was a rematch.
Usman beat him.
He didn't just want to be another lap in Usman's
ever since that fight.
Race.
Leon did not lose another fight. He was on, or he was on a 10. I think he's on an 11 win streak now. Usman was somewhere on his crazy win streak. He was on 13 on record. What it looked like to beat Anderson Silva's streak, and obviously the clear underdog. And then to have that knockout with all that just easily makes a knockout of the year. Because you have like Chandler's actual knockout, which was probably like better, like front kick to the face. I mean, maybe not even better, but just another. You can't even put it in the same pick because Michael Chandler is just the guy who fights and just has entertaining fights. He went and knocked him out. He didn't have any stakes going into that fight, unlike Leon Edwards, which was just
title on the line, reputation on the line in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only dude you ever lost to. Get your get back, and you got it, and they're gonna be running it back. The trilogy soon, so I'm hyped for that. So yeah, I'm going Leon Edwards as well. From the announcers, he's not cut from. It's not the cloth from which he is cut, bro. That's when you put that on a t-shirt, man.
From which he is cut.
And then women's knockout of the year, I had two options for this. Molly McCann, spinning elbow to the face, basically, almost looked like killing someone in the octagon. And then I also had Zhang Weili knocking out Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I'm gonna go.
It's a lot. UFC 275 was like the most slept on card, and then now it ends up having like 3 award nominations on it.
I'm gonna go Zhang Weili. I think they were both great knockouts. I just think they were both the same knockout, damn near. One was just a back fist, one was an elbow.
Back fist, back elbow.
They were both spinning. They were both women. They were both dominating. And then I think I'm just gonna basically based off that I'm just gonna go off whose was a little cleaner. I think Zhang Weili's was a little cleaner. I think the she kind of hit her, ran away. I mean no, but Molly's was clean too. Fuck, she just elbowed her and she went straight down. Molly was already in the air.
She was already on the side of the fence.
So it's kind of like
to Dana White.
Oh man, I'll just go Zhang Weili just because Molly McCann was fighting a nobody who probably got cut after that fight.
True. Yeah, for what Zhang Weili had on the line, she retired a lady.
She retired a lady, not only a lady, she's considered the strawweight GOAT right now.
She retired that woman.
As far as like the UFC people are concerned, she's the strawweight GOAT.
She knocked out that person. Yeah, we got to give it to Zhang Weili that she's a double awards.
She knocked out the former champ.
Women's Fight of the Year and Women's Knockout of the Year. Good shit, Zhang Weili. If you're watching this,
she's our Fighter of the Year. She should have been our Fighter of the Year. Wait, what, yo?
No, she was Women's Fight of the Year.
Wait, I'm a Brit.
Yeah, so far we got Pereira as our Men's Fighter of the Year. Zhang Weili as our Women's Fighter of the Year. Men's Fight of the Year. I had Gane versus.
Yep. I had Glover versus Yuri.
Tuivasa. Glover versus Yuri.
That was good. That was
Women's Fight. I had Shevchenko versus Santos. You had
Amanda Nunes versus Pena 2.
The rematch. Then Knockout of the Year. Leon Edwards all the way. Women's Knockout of the Year, Zhang Weili. Then Men's Submission of the Year. And I had one that it's probably one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen. Charles Oliveira submitting Justin Gaethje at UFC 274, bro. That was some of the cleanest jiu-jitsu and everything. He did it such with ease, you know what I mean? He did get hit a little bit because you know how Oliveira is. Takes a couple shots, goes down.
Mine's going to be Oliveira, but which one? Do I want Poirier?
That was in 2019.
That was in 2019?
2019. I know. 2021.
Oh, okay, word. That's what's crazy is because Charles Oliveira.
Why do I feel like it's 2020?
That's what I'm saying. Charles Oliveira would have been my Fighter of the Year, and then all of a sudden I find out he fought Poirier in 2021. Are you serious?
He won 1-1 this year.
That's crazy. That's just so crazy. That's so crazy.
Because it was where he lost his title against Justin Gaethje.
That's just so wild to me.
But then there's submissions like obviously Glover.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna give it to Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje.
Tell me that was not one of the most impressive submissions.
No, what was impressive about it is how
fast he did it.
How he got rocked 4 times, dropped, and Justin Gaethje refused to hop on top of him. Oliveira nipped him with the right hand. Gaethje went down. Instead of hopping on him and punching him in the face,
if you left the room to take a piss, you would have missed what happened that night.
He basically hopped on Gaethje's back instead. He was like, I'll just take your back. You're hurt, I'll take your back. So, yeah, I'm going to give that submission of the year. Another honorable mention would be Islam, just because he did what everybody didn't do. When Poirier knocked down Oliveira and Gaethje knocked down Oliveira, they didn't try and go finish him. They were like, I don't want to go ground game, even though you have a hurt Charles Oliveira in front of you. You wouldn't hop on top.
Asking for
what happened to Makhachev? No, I know Makhachev's wrestling and grappling is a little bit different than the two fighters I just mentioned, but when he dropped Oliveira, he didn't waste no time to just hop on top of him and do what he's good at, which was submit him and lay on top of him. Poirier and Gaethje could have just kept punching him in the face. I just don't understand why they didn't. Like, he's on his back. Oh, he's so good from his back.
That's why I feel
hurt.
like
you have no idea how hurt the fighter is laying down on their back in front of you. It doesn't matter how good they are at jiu-jitsu. If they're hurt and they can't see anything, or they're truly rocked,
get in there.
That ground game is not going to mean as much. Dude, people are probably still going to disagree with that.
That's why if Chandler fought Makhachev, it would literally just be like the same shit.
Dude, we might make a lot of bad takes or the controversial that people disagree with, but I don't know how someone can agree. Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje should have hopped on top of him there. Michael Chandler even tried, and it didn't. It worked, but the ref didn't call it for some reason. The fight was crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight.
But yeah, besides the point, I'm giving it to Charles Oliveira because it just was cleaner. Because the thing about Makhachev is he didn't really get punched before he did it. He was kind of just dominating the fight. Charles Oliveira was on his ass like 3 times and then got back up and nipped him, and it was over.
It was the worst in that Chandler fight in 2021.
I feel bad for Gaethje and Poirier. Every time they got a toe shot, bro, they've just been submitted.
I know.
That's tragic.
If Gaethje fights Islam, he's like, here we go again.
Seriously, or Poirier? Fuck.
All right, and then for women's submission of the year, I have to search it up because
Women's who?
Submission of the year.
Women's submission of the year.
I could not even think of one earlier, to be honest. But then I was like, oh shit. Because so let's just react to it real quick. This is the only one that I was like,
all right, guys, this is my submission of the year.
But yeah, Zhang Wei Li getting the 3-peat on
guys,
us.
that's what we're saying.
She is the woman's GOAT at the moment.
She's overall pound for pound of the year. Pound for pound fighter of the year, it would be her. Just saying. Yeah, if you were to go off like the pound for pound ranking of the year, bro, I mean, she probably already is.
Wait, did she clean sweep all of our women's? Wait,
no,
everything but one. But my fight of the year.
Everything but our fight of the year. We just didn't put her in our fight of the year. Wow. Well, sorry, Zhang. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Nah, but congrats, Zhang. You'll get your 3 Fight Geeks
you ever see the
trophies in the mail.
Between her and Colby at the one press conference?
Yeah.
It was so awkward.
Or another great moment when she lifted up Francis Ngannou.
That was wild. I saw some video like debunking it. They're like, anyone can do this if it's a tactic.
It's cat.
Why you gotta ruin the video, bro?
I don't even know if I could lift Francis Ngannou.
No, it's like a certain technique. And it's just like, dude, why you gotta ruin the video, man? I don't need a tutorial on how she lifted Francis Ngannou. Yeah. She lifted Francis Ngannou. That's all I gotta hear. Someone's like, actually...
We'll be rooting for Zhang Wei Li going into this next year. Seeing if she can just keep defending her chip.
Or
all the way
go
through.
And fight. Can they all fight each other? The weights are not that far apart, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think like the women's flyweight can fight like
the
max.
But like all the ones in between, they could probably run it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might get maybe a Nunes versus Shevchenko fight or something. That would be cool.
They already fought twice.
Oh shit!
But Nunes won both. Nunes won both. But listen to this.
They might have to fight again.
You remember the whole Alex Pereira and Izzy thing where people were like, Izzy clearly won those fights. Or no. People were saying Izzy won the fight before he got knocked out in the boxing fight. Okay, that's cool. You won all the fight, but you got knocked out. Okay. That's kind of what happened in this fight in the MMA. But he also, in the first fight, they were like, it was a clear robbery. Like, Izzy won. And now it was the same thing with this Shevchenko. It was a close decision. People were like, that was a robbery. So in both fights, people were saying that was a robbery. About Nunes versus Shevchenko. But this was before Nunes was, like, crazy like that. If there were a rematch, I'd take Nunes. But I'm just saying. She got... People are saying she got robbed the first 2 fights that she won. What if it's like the Izzy Pereira situation where Nunes beat her twice? Everyone's going to go in expecting Nunes to win. And then if Shevchenko does something crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Double champ. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So we could possibly see a women's double champ, a men's double champ.
No, we could see a women's triple champ. Women's triple champ if Amanda Nunes went up to her weight. Or
I think I would actually rather see that, to be honest.
I would see a triple champ. I would see a triple champ, and then if she goes and defends each time in the division, she can retire as the greatest
mixed
martial artist.
Yeah,
overall,
legit, dude.
She would pass.
Because it's woman against all women. Every woman in the world.
Her versus Zhang Weili would be fun. I don't know like how far they are from weight, but like they all know how to do everything.
That's
right? Like you have Zhang Weili submitting someone who submits people.
They're in straw weight
when Zhang Weili doesn't even submit people. Same thing like Amanda Nunes when she fought that Megason Anderson, that bitch, when she literally almost knocked her out. Instead of knocking her out, she went to go put her in an armbar, and then instead of the armbar, she's like, "Nah, I want to choke her out," and just choked her out. That was the craziest thing I ever seen. But also, Khabib did that against Gaethje. Now that I'm thinking about it, he was like, "I didn't want to choke him out in front of his family, so I choked him out a different way." It was some bullshit because he still choked him out. He put him
Respect.
To sleep. He like moved from like a rear naked to a triangle or something. I don't even remember.
You've seen what's happened with Khabib?
Oh yeah, Khabib is done.
I didn't want to put a post out yet because I'm like, where is this confirmed?
Fuck Khabib. Not playing. All due respect.
Like it's not official. It's not really official.
If I'm being a non-hater,
but Khabib is retiring from coaching.
If I'm being a non-hater, Khabib retiring from coaching. I don't even know why, but Khabib's a great thing to UFC and mixed martial arts as a whole. So to see him, if he's fully on retiring, I think he definitely deserves it for all that he did. Right? Like he's a monster. Wrestled bears. He had his whole dad situation.
I honestly thought he was going to do this for life.
Has like the takeover. I heard like from everyone in his team, like there's like 9 champions across all like the promotions. Like you got Makhachev, and then you had got someone Bellator. You literally like every promotion you think of. That guy, the champion that's Russian, is on Khabib's team,
and they're like undefeated or some shit.
So as being a non-hater, like respect to Khabib, man. If he's fully retiring, like he deserves it, man.
He trains winners. He's
basically done it all. He's done his dream.
He's got his millions.
But as a hater, what's he doing retiring if he's this good? I don't understand. If he's so good, why is he retiring?
I actually liked him.
What about his brother Makhachev? Like, what's going on there? Or Bilal? He's just gonna leave these dudes hanging? Come on, man.
I don't know, man.
Nah, he can't be done training. So what's he gonna do? Just knock?
He's got to still be involved somehow. He's not gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's not gonna train Makhachev anymore.
How could you not be in Makhachev's corner for his chance at defending
he'll be in the corner.
His first defense? You know what I mean?
He just won't fight.
And Alex Volkanovski could possibly become a double champ. Like, it's crazy. I guess that could leeway us into the Daniel Cormier comments as well.
Yeah, everyone says DC's biased, and like everyone always kind of has said he's biased for whatever reason, and not for whatever reason, for good reason. But then DC got like this love thing because a lot of things on the internet, people love canceling people and then bringing people back. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is kind of a reach, but like think about Nadia for example. All I saw was she was a cheater, and now all of a sudden she's playing with Lil Uzi on Call of Duty. She was a cheater.
I know.
She was a cheater. I think she was a cheater. And then people want to go. So it's kind of like that. People said DC was biased.
It's like
people said DC was biased, and then once he started getting all this hate, people were like, "Nah, DC's such a good guy. Blah blah blah. He's one of the goats. Blah blah blah." No, DC's biased as fuck. And he said that if Volkanovski were to beat Islam Makhachev, what is it, UFC 285?
284.
284. That it would be. He didn't say one of. He said it would be the biggest upset in mixed martial arts history. Come on, is that an L take or what? That's an L take, right?
I feel like Pena versus Nunez already is.
I think it would be for I think it would be the biggest. I think it could be. It would be an upset, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry,
it's just an upset. It's not the biggest.
It would be an upset. I'd say it could possibly be upset at maybe of the year, but like I don't think that's near the upsets like you said. Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes 1. I think that is a big upset, but my biggest upset of all time would still be Nate Diaz beating Conor McGregor.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, they're both champions. This is like,
dude,
upsets are like if Gon would have beaten Ngannou, that would have been an upset.
Like,
that would have been crazy.
Yeah, it was like Nate Diaz.
If Nate Diaz would have beat Khamzat, that would have been crazy. But
Nate Diaz has half wins and half losses, like 21-13. Beats Conor McGregor. The bantamweight, was he featherweight or bantamweight?
Who?
Conor. Featherweight and lightweight?
Featherweight.
So he's featherweight champion.
Lightweight, welterweight.
Moved up to welterweight for whatever reason to go fight a punching bag that lost his last 3 fights. Everyone thought Conor was going to smoke him. Nate Diaz won that fight. That's an upset. Nate Diaz never a title challenger. Has entertaining fights, but loses most of the time fighting Conor McGregor, an absolute killer who's taken over the UFC. That was crazy. Pena versus Nunes. Nunes already beat damn near everybody on the roster twice. Juliana Pena wants to fight her. She's probably like 2-1 in her last 3. Gets the title shot. Somehow beats her.
Gets the title, makes a name for herself.
Beats the fucking absolute goat of women's MMA right now. Like, she's fucking
on top of the world, literally.
This is crazy. Yeah, no, those are upsets. What's another upset I can't even think of?
They don't come too often.
Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. That is a bigger upset than Volkanovski.
Okay, we'll admit 2022 was literally the year of upsets, and I don't think that
Pereira beating Volkanovski
won, that wouldn't compare to any upsets that even happened.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying here. Yeah, him beating Makhachev doesn't compare to anything we just said. I don't think it even compares to like Pereira, Izzy, and everyone else we just said. Nor even close. Then you have the top two, Amanda Nunes and Nate Diaz. Those two right there, those were crazy. Or Helena Pena and Nate Diaz, those were crazy. I don't even know if I can think of it anymore. We weren't really around the time that, like when George St. Pierre lost, I know that was huge.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were just like still like kids basically.
I was watching WWE.
We were still kids basically at that point.
I was watching John Cena. But yeah, that's crazy. So guys, basically, I'm not trying to hit on DC too much, but like, there's nothing wrong with being biased. I'm pretty convinced that you cannot control being biased. Right? It's in like your blood, bro. Like,
yeah, like if you'll just be lying if you're not like biased. You know what I mean?
It's like when people have kids.
Either you lie or you be biased. It's like
when people lie about their kids and they're like, "Oh my god, they're so good at football. Oh, he's the best on the team. He's the best on the team. He just so." It's kind of like that. Like, everyone knows your kid's not good, and like people will call you biased just because it's your kid, but they don't realize it, bro. Bias, it's just in your blood. Like, you know you're being biased. Everyone here is biased. Everyone watching this is biased, bro. And so is DC, rightfully so. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying, when you say he's not biased, like how? Like how? That is the craziest statement ever. The whole thing with like when Khabib fought too, like, oh, DC's biased. So the whole Russians, which is fine. I'm just saying, man. Don't say he's not. Is what I'm trying to say.
I believe you, bro. I mean, you could hear it in his commentary sometimes.
Like, when Kamaru Usman got knocked out, Joe Rogan screaming, John Anik, no way, and then you got TC. Oh my god, he's reacting.
He's shell shocked.
He's trying to give a reaction. He is shell shocked, but he's like, oh my god, like
low-key, can't believe it.
Low key, my boy just got knocked out. Or Ali Abduliaz, whatever his name is. His reaction was crazy. He went. I know you've seen the clip where Henry's like, easy money going into the 5th round. He's just joking. It knocked out. Henry's hype. He stands up. Oh,
that's crazy. That's why that's got to be like moment of the year,
dude. I know what's crazy as well is like the knockout.
Like if you search up UFC 2022, that better be like, dude, the statement.
The thing about that knockout too is like it's not even like he got like TKO'd or punches to finish. His eyes were open, looking at the fucking ceiling when he was knocked the fuck out. He looked dead.
Literally folded, staring at the ceiling.
He was like a stone.
Comes back like a week later and says he doesn't remember anything until he got an ambulance.
He was like a stone creature like this. Being knocked out is kind of like being blacked out. And I mean that in the sense like Kamaru Usman, after he lost that fight in that octagon, he fully knew what he was doing. He was asking his coach, Trevor Whitman, what happened? Like, how did I get knocked out? He went and shook hands with Leon. He walked out of the octagon,
met his family,
nodding his head,
talking to his family,
looking at the crowd, nodding his head like this, knowing something we don't. Knowing something, he walked out nodding and smiling. And like you said, a week later, he comes out and says he doesn't remember any of that. It's kind of like what happens when you black out. Like,
that's crazy.
You know, you don't remember shit, but
it's like short-term memory loss.
You wake up, people tell you some shit you do. It's like Dana White slapping his wife, all right? Which is horrible. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying. Yeah. This is mad. Speaking of that is news. Guys, Dana White slapped his wife.
Yeah, Dana White was in an altercation. His wife slapped him across the face. He retaliated.
Wait, why is he actually getting a W from this? I'm maybe thinking a W. Because why is this show getting pushed back? That's good for him. And I say that's good for him because I haven't really talked to you about this.
It's just so ironic. I feel like people could say like it's promoting his show. It's just so ironic he made a slap league.
Oh, yeah. I know. I didn't even mean to correlate to that, but that's so true. But the only reason I say it's a W is because I haven't talked to you since the power slap, or we haven't really talked about it. We did talk about it, but I think it's an L.
Me too.
All right, so you think it's an L, so I think it's an L. So the reason I'm saying it getting pushed back is a W is because now it's just his time to like disconnect from that league and like don't even do it, bro. Like obviously, legit. Dana White watching it and promoting it.
And Ariel Helwani called it.
Obviously, too. Dana White would profit from it. I think it would be good for Dana. I think as an overall like viewpoint, like how long it's gonna last, like. I'm sorry, I'm not watching that. Dude, the promos are so cringe to me. People are like, I'm not disrespecting any veteran. I'm just saying, I watched this one dude, he's like, I'm a former Marine, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be the champion. Dude, you're going to slap someone 5 times. Like, champion of what? slapping. I mean, no, slapping's not useful. Mixed martial arts is a very useful art in real life. If you were ever to get into a combat situation,
I would even be hyped if they did like a kickboxing league that
like actually
part of the UFC in a way. You know what I mean?
Like, what is a slap actually going to do?
Like actual like combat sports rounds, not just slap.
That's what I'm saying. So like when I see like the promos of it, it's actually cringe to me.
If it was a separate fight league, I would be more interested. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's just so cringe to me. Like they're these guys have like a crazy backstory, and then you're hyping it up like you're going to slap someone. Like, dude, I don't care. I don't care what your past was like. Your goal is to be the champion of the world and to slap.
So if that does ever come out, we'll do a reaction to it.
No, it's definitely entertaining. It's entertaining. I just don't get the point of it. There's no skill behind it. Agreed? Like,
can you take a slap?
Training to be champion of the best mixed martial artists in the world, that's hard training. That's your life away of training. To go slap someone, dude, I can learn how to slap someone in 6 months. With the perfect technique. I'm sure there's a technique.
And take a slap.
I'm sure there's a technique to take a slap a little better and,
some type of cupping method.
Get the perfect hit on someone and the perfect torque.
Pop their eardrum.
That's going to take me 6 months. To become a UFC champion or MMA champion, that's a lifetime. So I just
a lifetime dedication,
It's definitely entertaining, bro. I'd be watching them Russian slap contests on Twitter and shit. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But nah, the UFC getting.
I feel like for a show,
Dana White and the UFC hopping in that. It's like
imagine if like at pay-per-views they had it in between stuff, like how they did. That's what I got to credit that one Jake Paul fight for. Remember they had the slapping in between the boxing.
They actually
fights?
did.
Like imagine they had power slap in between fights. That could be entertaining. But a whole show dedicated.
That's one of your better takes of all time. I mean, you got to understand. Commercials are to make money, so it is what it is. But like if the UFC.
Put sponsorships on power slaps.
There's a
blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
If you were to put like the power slaps on the because sometimes the commentary, like let's be honest, they'd be going on for some bullshit where the fighters are getting ready in between fights. Like they just be saying bullshit. Like no one really wants to listen to it. I'll watch like a little bit after, watch the interviews, see what they got to say. I'll watch like the beginning when they're introducing the fighters, but that gap in between where they're just talking about like future cards and stuff.
Power slap.
Put a 2 minutes power slap on. I know those fights aren't long. You just slap.
Or just literally make the backstories for like the fights 2 minutes shorter, and like all the slapping's pre-recorded. You know what I mean? So they know how long the clips are. They're not gonna be like,
you're right. It is pre-recorded, but this can now be the opportunity to do it live. Fuck it, in the UFC octagon, imagine.
Yeah, maybe, or just like in the crowd or some shit. Who knows?
It's too much. Now, if it was actually Dana White doing it, then
but yeah, let us know if.
Let's know what you guys think. We honestly, personally, think it's an L thing. We think it's entertaining. We think it's entertaining for sure, but we just don't see the point in the UFC parting with it, or as it just being a show in general. I think it's just stupid. I think the whole fact that there's going to be champions and rankings behind this is crazy. I mean, anyone can get knocked out when you're sitting here like this. You're not even allowed to roll with the slap, like how fighters roll with punches so you don't get knocked out. Like when you get punched, you're supposed to roll, move your head.
Yeah.
When you get slapped, you just have to be like a stone creature like this. And if you get caught with like this or this, you're fucked.
Or right here in the temple,
you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You're going to sleep. You're going to sleep. I see people go to sleep all the time. Like,
we're probably not going to touch on power slap.
We'll touch on the first episode. Probably roast it some more, and that'll be it.
We'll criticize and go over the first episode when that comes out, which I'm not sure. I think it's delayed until further notice at the moment.
It's delayed because wait, why is it delayed? Didn't we make this?
They said in Wake, yeah.
Didn't we made the power slap?
He started it.
So he's the founder of Power Slap.
Face the founder.
I thought it was just like somebody else, and Dana White was just like with.
Nah. It's like affiliated, heavily with Dana White, UFC, his name. So, yeah, it's starting off tough for Dana White, and I mean, I can't really feel too bad for the guy.
I don't care what happens.
He caused it on himself.
Bird did the classic.
But
can we? I feel like I think we're a little bit past casual now. I say this because I think a casual UFC fan, I'm going to call out our former kind of guest on here that we don't see too often anymore. He was kind of a co-host. Not really. He was just here from the beginning, helping us get going. Joe Crimmy, our homie. This isn't even a bad thing. He does not like Ariel Helwani. And I feel like if you're a real true fan of the UFC and like nowadays, like how me and you are, I think you're going to like Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani is not a bad guy as people like come off to be, like Paddy Pimblett and Dana White. He's just not that guy. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but Ariel Helwani said something about the Dana White slapping him thing, and it was hilarious. Oh yeah, it was Dana White said something about Ariel Helwani. He's like, your kids are going to see this. This is what you do, and your kids.
I posted on Instagram.
He said your kids are going to see this.
What are your kids going to say about this?
And then it's now Ariel telling Dana White that his kids are going to see this. Like, your kids are going to see you slapping your wife. It wasn't just a slap, bro. It was a mop and a push, and then all of a sudden off camera.
I know. That's why, like, I'm like,
who knows what happened when those cameras weren't on, bro? I'm not saying there was a punch thrown, but all I'm saying is, like, that wasn't just like a push. Dana White's a huge guy, right? Like, Dana White is a huge guy.
People are crazy how they defend Dana.
Bro, you can.
It's like
if you're going to defend him, if you're going to defend someone for something like that, you can only defend them to the extent that they're deserved. The only thing you could say is,
reading the comments, I literally had to search, like, is hitting women legal? Because why does nobody think this is wrong? Like, yeah, he got slapped first, but you don't retaliate
because
back.
People don't understand. People don't understand. You can only defend someone to an external extent of factual shit.
I'll raise the same question.
I'm so happy you actually got this.
What are your kids going to say about you? What are your kids going to say about your legacy, about the way you treat fighters, about the way you treat people, about your business practices? What are your kids going to say about that video?
You know what I found out, though? Is that, you know who else fucks with Ariel? Conor McGregor. Conor tweeted out something like, not to bring this into it, but Dylan Dennis was on Ariel Helwani's show. And Ariel was pressing the fuck out of him for no reason. I mean, Ariel Helwani. It was a funny ass interview. He was all over Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis in NDA. He literally just tried to talk like Conor McGregor. It was weird. He's like a little fool of a thing and shit like that. But
yeah, when you're fighting KSI, buddy, like
Ariel Helwani was talking to Dylan Dennis. He's like, so do you still talk to Conor? And then Dylan Dennis was like avoiding it, blah, blah, blah. He's like, do you still talk to Conor? Why don't you talk to Conor anymore? For no reason. Ariel just wanted to know. And then someone tweeted out to Ariel, or Conor, they said, why was Ariana being so pressed about asking if you still talk to Dylan Dennis? LOL. And Conor tweeted, he said, I don't know, maybe because the whole Martum situation. What was that his name?
Artem.
He's like, I don't know, maybe because the whole Artem situation. He said, either way, I'm rocking with Dennis. And he's like, I love Ariel always keeping up on his show as well. I was like, wow.
I mean, he is. Where else are we getting?
I was like, Conor. Like, most fighters for the most part don't really like Ariel.
It's an unbiased.
Someone like Conor does. Actually, a lot of fighters do mess with Ariel. The only ones that don't are like Patty, Dana. You know people who suck off Dana White don't like Ariel Helwani.
And I like Ariel because he's less corporate, like ESPN. Like, he swears, he states his mind.
Because he's allowed to do what he wants now because he doesn't have that ESPN contract anymore.
I think that saved his career, to be honest. Like, he could be himself.
Well, because people didn't understand the fucking like thing about Ariel. He was low-key like a meme. A lot of fighters acted like they hated him, but actually didn't. Like, it was just like for the interviews and stuff. And then
that's what I don't get with media. It's like
it led people to like actually not liking Ariel, but Ariel was just that like funny guy, like our buddy Jack. You know, you just roast him all day, but you love him, like, right? Like, it's kind of like how Ariel was. Every fighter disrespected the hell out of him, but at the end of the day, they actually
he was making a name for himself.
Down to the heart, like down in the heart, they genuinely fucks with Ariel. And then the casual thing was just to hate on Ariel. Now, man, free Ariel, man. Let me know if y'all like Ariel in the comments. I understand if you don't, but I'm just saying, like, deep down, do you really not like Ariel, and why? People say he doesn't pay his fighters, and they come on for why? Who cares? Like, what does that even?
It's free promotion, damn near, for most people.
I agree. Like,
you know what I mean?
People see Ariel as like a clout chaser, but like how? He doesn't just interview guys like Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Every league.
He's in there with people that I don't even know.
Almost 5+ interviews per day.
That's what I'm saying.
All across MMA.
He said, I raised this question to you, Dana. But I don't even know how we started talking about Ariel. But, man, Ariel. Ariel.
His show is dope.
Why were we talking about Ariel? Like,
just because he responded to Dana White.
Oh, yeah, because I thought that was hilarious. Because, like, Dana, what are you doing?
Yeah, so far 2023 MMA wise has literally just been
it's looking crazy.
Dana White controversy, but with Dana White,
I don't even think so. I
feel like probably not.
No, because
which I don't really.
I'm going to raise this question to you, Bertana. What can they do? He owns the UFC.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is he going to take himself?
I think it might be a situation where maybe he'll get some booze. if the first event, maybe.
You know what's crazy about this is I don't even see as many people caring as they should. Like I see, like it raised eyes.
I know, and Gervonta Davis got like accused of like domestic abuse, and he's like face to face with this dude. Like a week later, it's like, is there no responsibility as a famous celebrity if you commit a crime?
No, sure.
Nowadays, bro. Like
I remember back like a few years ago, I'd see like some football player would like do it, and like it was some crazy shit would happen after. Never back in the NFL, blah blah blah. Nowadays, people are just hitting their waist, and it's like they're back out there doing whatever they were doing. There's no
if you got the
consequence
money
for your action if there's money in you, which is crazy. Just fuck all that. That's a whole other podcast show. Go watch.
Yeah, that's literally a whole nother like.
That's a whole other show if you want to talk about shit like
the
that,
law
bro.
and shit.
Yeah, like government shit like that. Like
I fucks with the movie law though.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even.
You know what I mean? Not like IRL law. But yeah, we're back. It's
back.
2023.
Wait, oh, I thought you were just restarting the whole entire episode.
No, I was just doing like an outro. Like we're back. It's 2023. We're back in action.
But yeah, guys, W Ariel, W 2022.
Yeah, it was a good year. We started up a podcast. We started up an Instagram. And let's see what we do this year, bro.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Peace.